What's up, everybody? Welcome to My Done Life. So we're taking you on my adventures on two wheels or four. Today we're going to talk about the Dead Man Dyna. And you can't see, it's in pieces right now. There's a lot of things missing. So let's roll an intro and we'll talk about what's wrong with the Dyna. Alright, so let's talk about the Dyna. So, this is the Sunday before Labor Day. I'm going to edit and post this video on Monday for my weekly. So the previous Sunday, I was out riding with Mr. and Mrs. McStash. Me and the wife were riding two up. I recently had serviced and added these air shocks. Now, I bought these things super cheap, like $5 a piece at a flea market. Seemed to be working okay with me, but they were taking more pressure than my previous set of air shocks that I had on the Sportster. I partly took this as a, just a thing based on having different oil in them and that they hadn't been really broken in yet. But on the trip out to meet up with Mr. and Mrs. Stash, this thing was bottoming out pretty badly, and so I ended up putting more air in these air shocks. And I started them out around, before we left, it was like 45 psi, which is real close to where they sort of should be maxed out. And I ended up cranking them up to 70 by the time it was all said and done. With that said, that still didn't work that great. I was having really bad scraping problems on the exhaust side, and I'm going to show you where this thing has been scraping. So it's been this bracket right here, and it's been causing me nothing but headaches. Right hand turns have been really bad, and thankfully Mr. McStash took it really easy on me, because left hands was fine, right hands was not. So cue about a week later, and I run home from work on Friday. I was literally just packing the bike up, started to take off, getting ready to head to Tazewell, Virginia to meet up with Mr. McStash and a whole bunch of other motovloggers. And I noticed my right turn signal wasn't working. And so I was kind of like, well, maybe the indicator on the dash ain't working. So I pulled over and I started looking. It might flicker, but it really wasn't even working. Left was fine, right was not. So I bring the bike home. I'm thinking maybe it's the LEDs I put in it. I swapped the LEDs out for some bulbs, still nothing. So I call up Mr. McStash and I'm like, dude, you're not gonna believe this. I was telling him what was going on. He's like, have you done any electrical work? And I'm like, no. And I was like, yeah, actually I did, because I wired the rear turn signals, which are over here. And I look up underneath the bike, and you can see the wires are all chewed up. Like, these were all mangled up. In fact, some of the wiring for the main harness is a little messed up. So, I told him, I was like, I honestly don't know if I'm going to make it, and I didn't. I started tearing this thing apart, obviously, so I could get to that wiring harness. I do have a new one ordered. I'm just hoping it's going to show up in time for me to get that done. This part of the harness I'm going to have to fix and rebuild. Going to do some of that today. And then I was like, well, since I'm messing with that, why don't I go ahead and mess with the exhaust? So, you know, I'm pretty sure these are Screaming Eagle pipes. I'm not 100% sure. I do know this is a stock head pipe. They've been painted. I'm not, you know, they don't have any markings on them, but there's something interesting about these. So I've been looking in the catalogs, trying to figure out, and I'd seen lots of pictures because I was thinking, because of the scraping problem, that maybe this exhaust was hanging a little low. And I will tell you, this bracket was all the way over here, and it was not attached to this bracket. So there was no holding this up. These bolts were just past finger tight. Like, they took no effort to come loose. So I got to looking, and I'm like, you know, some of these look like they sit up higher, and then I noticed something on one of the factory diagrams, and it showed this bracket is supposed to be on the kind of like backside of these mufflers. And I'm like, I wonder. And sure enough, I looked, and if you notice, these tips are kind of pointed backwards to point them kind of out, and they're supposed to be straight. So this is about 20 degrees turned to the left. So needless to say, I'm gonna fix that and tuck this bracket up on the exhaust, which should give me plenty of clearance, along with the adjustment I'm about to make, getting this properly bracketed. Now, because I'm doing, my plan was to at least wrap this top header pipe for the wife, because she complains about heat from where her leg is. So I'm going to take care of that problem at the same time. I'm going to stop over at the dealer today, see if I can get some gaskets and try to get this remedied. But I'm trying to get all of this fixed and ready to go before next Saturday, or next Friday actually, is the Five Darter Bikers meetup. I really want to be at that event, and then I'm gonna do Five Darter Bikers meetup, finish up at the Easy Rider Rodeo in Chillicothe. So it's gonna be a busy week, man. Work's been nuts. If you notice, I took the Batwing fairing off. Now, for anybody that doesn't know, I rigged a set of the stock brackets off the original windshield, and all I did was add some washers. So this is something you can do if you run into this situation where you got this bracket and you can't get the other side, because mine was out of stock for a while. Well, I stopped over at Iron Pony yesterday, and they had the bracket in stock. So that's another thing that I'm planning to do, is put the proper brackets on that windshield and get it installed correctly. May have to order, and I'm figuring that out probably today. I need to order a different one of these to push the headlight out. Probably am going to have to. So that's kind of where I'm at. Just wanted to give kind of a quick update on the Dyna. If you follow me on Instagram, you've probably seen some of the pictures and videos that I've posted concerning the bike. I'm also, while it's kind of tore apart, I'm going to clean it up a little bit. Not sure if the weather is going to be very conducive to technically working. Thankfully, most of this stuff, the wiring stuff that I really need to do today, I can do in the house. And it's going to be soldered. I'm going to put plenty of heat shrink and stuff on it. And I'm going to try to find some coverings to try to protect that wiring in the future. As far as the shocks, I think they're coming off. I think I'm going to put the stock shocks back on. I did get a tool to actually adjust the stock shocks, and I think I'm going to run that pretty much for the rest of the season. And these shocks I'll put away, and maybe before the season starts up again, I'll pull these out. I actually have some heavier weight oil to put in them. See if I can make them work. If not, I'll either get some newer ones or some other shocks. My plan is for next year, though, this front end is going to get completely rebuilt. We're going to do The cartridge style from Progressive. I think these I'm gonna clean up and send them to the powder coat, get those powder coated black. Might do the triple tree the same. I haven't quite decided. If I don't, then I'll probably send them to be polished at a professional shop. So it's kind of where I'm at. I wanted to give everybody an update so I'd have an actual video, because unfortunately the video that I took while on the triple nickel I don't have any audio, so it's just not and some of the video angles are not very good, and I've pretty much decided going to make some changes to my GoPro setup. I think I'm going to move both the GoPros just to the handlebars, one pointing at me, one pointing forward, because unfortunately all I'm getting is the windshield. So just a few updates. Hope everybody has a great day, has a great week. It's been real hot here in Ohio, and so I hope everybody make sure you stay hydrated, stay safe, keep rub side down, and I'll catch you in the next video.